In every neighborhood, on every street corner, there's a story waiting to be told. This one begins with a boy named Adam. At 12 years old, Adam didn't just play football, he lived it. For him, the world was a pitch, and everything else was just background noise. His small town didn't have fancy stadiums or manicured fields. His arena was the cracked pavement of back alleys, the dusty expanse of an empty lot, and the sun-baked rooftop that overlooked the entire city. This was where his dreams took flight, with a ball that was more patch than leather. One afternoon, while chasing a wayward shot behind some old bleachers, his fingers brushed against something different. It wasn't his ball. It was older, heavier, its panels worn smooth by time and countless kicks. And there, faded but still visible, was a signature. A name he'd only heard in whispers and legends of football ghost from a bygone era. Holding that ball felt like holding a piece of history, a silent promise. It wasn't just a ball anymore. It was a legacy. A spark ignited in Adam that day, a belief that maybe, just maybe, his dreams weren't so far-fetched after all. The discovery changed everything. Mornings now started before the sun, his footsteps echoing in the quiet streets as he practiced his footwork. The ball, his new treasure, became an extension of his body. He learned its every bounce, its every curve. He taught himself to spin it, to chip it, to make it dance. He'd spend hours on the rooftop, juggling the ball, with the city lights twinkling below like a stadium full of fans. But passion alone doesn't win games. In his first real match with the older kids, he was a ghost, pushed around, outpaced, and ignored. The sting of being underestimated was sharper than any fall on the concrete. Doubt began to creep in, a cold shadow that whispered he wasn't good enough. He pushed himself harder, too hard. One rainy afternoon, on a slippery patch of grass, his ankle twisted. A sharp, searing pain shot up his leg. The doctor's words were a heavy blow. No football for at least a month. The world fell silent. The ball sat in the corner of his room, untouched, a painful reminder of his broken dream. The vibrant colors of his world faded to gray. He'd watch other kids play from his window, a lump forming in his throat. The signature on the old ball seemed to mock him. What was the point of having a hero's ball if he couldn't even play? He was ready to give up. Just as the silence became unbearable, a new sound entered his life. A rhythmic thud, thud, thud of a ball against a wall. It came from the old community center, a place he'd never paid much attention to. Peeking inside, he saw an old man, alone on the court, methodically passing a ball against a wall. There was a quiet grace to his movements, a lifetime of football etched into his posture. This was Mr. Chen, the center's quiet caretaker. He had been a coach once, a long time ago. He saw the fire in Adam's eyes, hidden beneath a layer of frustration and disappointment. Mr. Chen didn't offer sympathy, he offered a challenge. He didn't focus on fancy tricks. He taught Adam about the soul of the game. He made him see that strength wasn't just in his legs, but in his mind. Football is a conversation, Mr. Chen would say. You must listen to the ball, listen to your teammates, and listen to the game. He taught Adam patience, showing him how to read the flow of a match, how to anticipate, not just react. He taught him discipline, with drills that were less about flash and more about fundamentals. Slowly, Adam's injury healed, but more importantly, his spirit began to mend. He learned that a setback isn't the end. It's a chance to rebuild, stronger and smarter than before. Under Mr. Chen's guidance, Adam's game transformed. He was no longer just a kid with raw talent. He was becoming a player. He returned to the neighborhood games. But this time, he wasn't just playing. He was conducting. He saw the open spaces, anticipated his opponent's moves, and created opportunities for his teammates. He didn't need to be the strongest or the fastest. He was the smartest. He passed when others would shoot. He saw the play 3 steps ahead. The same kids who once shoved him aside now looked to him for a pass, for a signal. He was becoming a leader, earning respect not with his words, but with his vision and his heart. Then, the news came. A flyer on the community board, announcing trials for the city's prestigious youth academy. This was it. The chance he'd been working for, the dream that had felt so impossible. The night before the trials, he couldn't sleep. The weight of his own expectations, the hopes of his small community, and the silent legacy of the old football all pressed down on him. He sat with Mr. Chen, who simply handed him a clean, new ball. "The old ball carries the past," he said. This one is for you to write your own story." The day of the trials was a blur of bright jerseys and unfamiliar faces. Hundreds of boys, all with the same dream burning in their eyes. The air crackled with nervous energy. Adam felt small, a boy from the back alley surrounded by players from proper clubs. But then he looked down at the new ball at his feet. He remembered the countless hours on the rooftop, the burn in his muscles, the sting of defeat, and the quiet wisdom of his mentor. He wasn't just Adam, the kid from the small neighborhood. He was the sum of all his efforts, all his failures, and all his hopes. The whistle blew. Adam took a deep breath and stepped onto the field. He didn't try to be flashy. He played his game. He listened. He passed. He moved into space. In the final moments of the scrimmage, the ball rolled toward him. Time seemed to slow down. He saw the opening, a fleeting chance. He struck the ball, a clean, powerful shot that sailed through the air, an arc of pure hope, and nestled into the back of the net. In that moment, it wasn't about the goal. It was about the journey. The cheers from the sidelines were distant. All he could feel was the thumping of his own heart, a rhythm that said, "I am here. I belong." We don't know if Adam made the team that day. The story doesn't end there. Because a dream isn't a destination, it's a direction. It's the chase. It's the belief that pushes you to get up before the sun, to train when you're tired, to keep going when you fail. It's finding an old, worn-out ball and seeing in it a map to your own future. Adam's journey had just begun. His story, like the signature on that old ball, would become a legend of its own, a reminder that no matter where you come from, your dream is valid. All you have to do is chase it. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more. Never stop chasing your ball.